everybody!
Hi everyone!
We are driving around thinking about you all, hoping that you're enjoying your leftovers. Hope that you had a wonderful Thanksgiving feast.
I'm sure I've eaten turkey 4 or 5 times.
At least, minimal.
Yeah, a little tired of it.
Yeah, I don't think that's ever possible for me.
Sunday.
But we're looking forward to Sunday, which is the beginning of Advent.
First Sunday in Advent.
I can't believe it's already here.
And we are doing a special series and doing some little tweaks on our worship services during Advent.
A little different.
Yep. And the theme is messengers.
Messengers.
And it's all about angels. Angels are God's messengers.
Yes.
We have this pretty romantic view of angels, and in the Bible, it's a lot less romantic. It's a lot less Hallmark cards.
Right. They weren't necessarily pretty. They were just doing a job.
And they showed up with an important message, and we're going to, on the 4 Sundays of Advent, look at one of those messages each Sunday. They're really important messages, not only for the people in the Christmas story, but for you and me.
Oh, absolutely. It's still today, yeah.
And our theme is that when we convey these messages to others, we become angels too. And
that's true.
We want you to become angelic.
That's what we want.
During this Advent Christmas season.
Yeah.
This Sunday we're talking about Zechariah and Elizabeth.
Love this story.
This is where the Christmas story begins. Yep. They're older people, and they don't have any children. And there's a really harsh word that's used for that in the scriptures. It only applies to women, unfortunately. Barren. And
rough.
Man, talk about desolate sounding word.
Just hopeless. You know, it just sounds so like there's nothing for you, and that's that's the reality that they've been living in, you know, until this, and so it is kind of hopeless.
And in the middle of it, an angel appears to Zechariah and says, first of all, do not be afraid. They always say that.
Well, it must be
secondly, get ready. You know, something's going to happen.
Yeah. And
the something that's going to happen is you guys are going to have a baby, and it was more than a shock.
Yeah. I mean, how many years have they been wanting this and it not happening? So
Zechariah didn't buy into this right away.
Yeah. And that's why I love him. I know that it's wonderful when you read scripture stories about people just saying, yes, that's amazing, but Zechariah is so me. If an angel came to me and said something crazy like that, I'd be like, okay, all right, I don't think you're right. So I love Zechariah. He's so human.
And I'm trying to figure out a way to, how does that relate to something that you and I experience? What's the comparable to our lives?
An angel coming? What's comparable to that?
And getting a message like that, and I'm going to say something like, you know, this doesn't capture it all, I know, but it's something of a lack of imagination.
Lack of imagination.
It's something that, here's a message that's so good and such a change and so impactful on their lives that he just didn't have the conceptual imagination to even think this is plausible.
Right.
So I'm going to play around with that a little bit and ask you to play around with it a little bit and think about imagination. And this whole season, though, is about cultivating our imagination for unexpected things to happen, for great things to happen, for wild things to happen, all centered around the coming of Christ into our lives. So so lots of stuff going on this Sunday as we begin the Advent season. It's a beautiful and wonderful season. And we're going to have communion.
Communion, yes. Because we have that first Sunday of every month, which will be great. And so we hope that we'll get to see you there. And if not, then you can find parts of the service on our Facebook page and on YouTube, right? And on YouTube. So check us out, and hopefully we'll see you this week. Bye.